The Ole Miss offense under Lane Kiffin has been one of the most exciting and dynamic attacks in college football since Kiffin became the head coach. Over the last few years, Lane has implemented elements of the Veer and Shoot offense into his play calling while blending his classic spread principles that he has been known for throughout his coaching career. This combination of old school spread offense with the explosive potential of the Veer and Shoot has turned Ole Miss into a formidable force capable of lighting up the scoreboard against any defense. In today's breakdown, we're going to go over some of the key formations and concepts that make this hybrid Veer and Shoot attack so dangerous and how you can use these ideas to dominate your opponent in college football 25. Now, this offense is part of a bigger scheme where we're going to be breaking down 3 of the best Veer and Shoot offenses of all time, with each of them getting their own video. But because we're going to be using the Mississippi State playbook for all of them, you'll be able to mix and match elements from each one to create one unstoppable offense. Now, the first formation we're looking at is wide doubles weak. It is a balanced 2x2 set with wide splits that spread defenses out, and these wide splits are one of the things that the Veer and Shoot is known for. Now, Ole Miss will frequently use similar sets to create open space, allowing their athletes to find gaps and exploit mismatches down the field. This formation provides a strong mix of RPOs, design QB runs, and a few staple Veer and Shoot plays that utilize option routes to attack a ton of different coverages. The play we're going to break down in this formation is PA Choice Deep, an incredible zone beating play that utilizes some of the Veer and Shoot's signature option routes, and this play is ideal for attacking defenses at multiple levels, especially when you're looking to exploit weaknesses in zone coverage. To set this up, you want your option routes to the short side of the field, then take your tight end, put him on a streak and motion him over. Then you want to take your solo receiver on the wide side and put him in a drag. And then lastly, I like to put my running back on a swing pass. Now for the reads, first starting against a single high safety, now both option routes are going to convert to curls sitting down at about 15 yards. You can look to whichever option route is more open and you can fire it in. Here you really want to read those linebackers and safeties and just play off of them and pick whichever curl is more open. Now against 2 high safeties in zone coverage, the inside slot receiver is going to convert his route into a wheel up the sideline, looking for a soft spot in behind the flat defender and the safety. And if he's open, you can drop it in for a really nice pickup in this hole. The other option route will become a post over the middle, targeting the gap in between the safeties and the linebackers. And if those LBs stay shallow, you can fire this post in behind them, and this can turn into a really nice pickup. Now on this play, if it's 2 high or single high and the deep options are covered, then the check down option is going to be the drag underneath, and you can just drop it down to him and let him make a play in the open field. The next formation we're looking at is wide slot right. This gives us a trips look to one side with, once again, those super wide splits from our receivers. This formation is all about forcing defenses to account for multiple vertical threats while also offering a great mix of RPOs. Ole Miss loves to use these kind of sets to challenge defenses with deep shots, pushing the ball downfield and always keeping the pressure on. Now the play we're going to be breaking down here is PA Wheel. This is a fantastic zone beater that creates multiple vertical options, each designed to get in behind the defense and into open space for big gains. Now to set this up, you want to have your trips to the wide side of the field, then take the outside receiver on the wide side and put him on a streak, then take the outside receiver on the short side and also put him on a streak, and finally I like to take my running back and put him on an option route. Now your first read here is going to be the wheel route out of the backfield. Once the deep blue defender gets run off by the streak, the wheel will clear in behind the flat and you can drop it in for a big pickup. You really want to wait till this wheel clears in behind that flat defender, and then you can drop it in over his head in that soft spot in the zone. Then if the defender bites down on the running back or looks to follow the wheel route up the sideline, you can look to the deep cross over the middle. This route can be thrown as soon as he cuts across the middle of the field, or you can wait and hold it and wait till he gets in behind the flat defender on the short side, and then you can drop it in over the flat defender's head as well. Now, if all the vertical options are covered, your check down is going to be the running back on the option route. You can drop it into him for an easy gain underneath. The third formation we're going to be breaking down is normal Y off, and this is not a traditional Veer and Shoot formation, but instead more of a classic spread set that gives you access to some of Lane Kiffin's favorite concepts. Ole Miss often uses these type of formations to diversify their play call, featuring multiple pre-snap motions and constraint plays that keep defenses guessing. This formation offers a diverse set of run plays, plenty of those kind of constraint options, and some really good classic spread passing concepts. Now the first play we're going to be breaking down is Y cross, which is one of those essential concepts in a spread pass passing attack, and it is really good against all types of zone coverage. To set this up, come out with your running back to the short side of the field, then put your slot receiver on the wide side on a hitch route, then take the outside receiver on the short side and put him on a deep cross. I like this deep cross better than the stock post for this play. Now for our reads, I always like to look at the hitch route right at the snap, and if the defense is dropping back, you can just quick throw that hitch for easy yards. This is a great option if everyone is just dropping out underneath your deeper options. Then next we have our tight end crosser. If the defenders are biting down on the hitch, you can look to the tight end as he crosses in behind the linebackers and gets in behind that flat defender. If he gets pulled down on the hitch, then you can just fire it in for a nice game. Now, if the middle of the field is open, you can also look to the backside post as he breaks over the middle. If the linebackers are running with the tight end crosser, you can throw this deeper crosser in behind him, or you can also wait till this crosser kind of gets deeper down the field and crosses the kind of single high safety's face. Then you can fire it in for an even deeper gain. Then lastly on this play, our running back is going to be our check down option. He's going to be on a swing pass in the flat, and if everything's covered deep, you can just drop it into him. Then the other play we're going to be looking in this formation is going to be Y cross once again, but this is going to be a setup to attack man coverage with 4 options on this play that all attack different areas of the field. To set it up, come out with your running back to the short side of the field, and then you want to block him for extra protection. Then you want to take your slot receiver on the wide side and put him on a whip route, then put your wide side outside receiver on a corner route. Now first, I like to look to the tight end crosser. This is a great route to attack the middle of the field against man coverage. Watch for the separation as he goes over the middle, and if the defender is trailing, you can fire it in. Next up, we have the corner route, and this route is great for attacking the sideline, and it works really well to keep the ball away from the user. You want to throw this as the corner route breaks to the sideline, and you can fire it in for a ton of big pickups. Then we have kind of our deeper post over the middle. This route can be thrown over the top if they have no safety help, or you can kind of wait for this post to cut in front of the safeties, and then you can fire it in there as well. Then the last option on this play is going to be our whip route from our slot. This can be a check down option or a hot if they're bringing pressure, then you can drop it into our whip as he breaks to the sideline. Then if you want to take your game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, I have part 2 of this Ole Miss offense where I break down 9 more plays that you can add to everything you learn here. It includes some really good runs, some great ways to push the ball down the field versus both man and zone coverage. Then a lot of it's based around the Veer and Shoot offense with some spread elements mixed in. Then also on the site, we have another mini scheme up for this offense and my RG3 Baylor Veer and Shoot offense and my Tennessee Volunteers Veer and Shoot offense. Then there's also a ton of different offensive schemes on the site. Also, like my dual threat QB offense where I break down some of the greatest running QBs of all time and how you can use them to their full potential in both Madden and College Football 25. Then also have my spread to run offense where I broke down 3 of the best college offenses of all time. And I have multiple defenses on the site, like my Nick Saban defensive scheme that works for both Madden and College Football 25. So by subscribing to the site, you'll also get access to all my Madden 25 content and my College Football 25 content for one price. So if you want to purchase memberships, you can get the yearly membership, which will save you $50 over the course of the year. Then I'm also running my Veer and Shoot sale on the site, and this is going to run till December 15th. Use code VEER at checkout to get 50% off your first month if you do the monthly membership. Now, if you want to check out the site, I will link it down below. Now, this is going to be a section where I break down what we can learn from the real life implementation of this Ole Miss scheme and how we can apply those strategies to our offense in College Football 25. Now, one thing I really wanted to include in this offense was a super diverse and explosive run game. The Veer and Shoot can be a great downfield passing attack, but because of the super wide splits and spread out formations, this gives us some big holes in the run game, then also gives us some really super light boxes to attack. Now, the first run we're looking at is bash in wide doubles weak. This will work like a read option where we read the end, but now if he plays the running back, we're actually going to run the ball with our QB to the opposite side of the read defender, and the blocking on this play is very good, and it can spring you for some really big gains on the ground. Then if the D-end crashes down, we can hand it off to our running back, but he's actually going to be running to the outside on this play and can get to the edge and into the open field. Next play we're looking at is the midline read option and normal Y off. And this play is a read option, but now the read defender will be inside on the D tackle. Now, if this player crashes on the running back, we're going to run it right off of him up the middle and we can get downhill with our QB. And this is a super quick hitting play that can allow us to get some really nice pickups with our quarterback. Then if the D tackle stops his feet to play the QB, now we want to hand the ball to the running back off the middle. And now we're actually going to be taking one of their D tackles out of the play because he is playing on our QB, and it's just going to make it so much much easier to run the ball up the middle. Then the other run we're looking at here is RPO alert post ISO in wide slot right. And so for this RPO, I actually want to come out with my slot to the wide side. Then we want to take the outside receiver on that side and motion him down and then snap the ball when he's about 4 to 5 yards away from the O-line. This is going to give your player on the slant a free release up the field. And if the linebackers bite down on the run, then you just want to throw the slant in behind them for a nice pickup. Then if the linebackers and safeties stay back to play the pass, hand the ball off to your running back, and you can get downhill right away and pick up some really nice yards with the defenders playing the pass on the RPO. The next huge element of this Ole Miss offense I wanted to include was constraint plays. These feature a motion or an element of the play that the defense has to cheat to try to stop. Then once we have them cheating, we can go to the next version of the play that will make the defense pay for being out of position. So all the plays in this sequence will be at a normal Y off, and the first play is going to be the jet touch pass. This is a great way to get one of your dynamic playmakers the ball in space where he can make some big plays, and this slot receiver motion across the field sets up the other two constraint plays in this series. Next, we have jet Y counter, and this starts with that same motion over, and hopefully this will pull the user and some of the linebackers out of position. Then we have our running back countering back the opposite direction and going against the flow of the defense, and this can let you get some huge gains on the ground running this counter play. Make sure you set it up with the touch pass first, and it will help make it work even better. Then the third play in this sequence is fake jet HB seam. This play starts with that jet motion again, and hopefully this will pull the user out of the middle of the field. But then we're going to have a play action play where we drop back, and the first place I like to look is the running back up the shallow seam as he comes out of the backfield, and if he gets open, you can fire it in, and now your running back can get some green grass where he can even get some more explosive yards. Then if you drop back and you see the linebackers jumping to the wheel, then you want to look to the tight end crosser going across the field, and when it's open, then you can just rip it into him. Then lastly, if both of our deeper options are covered, then we have our receiver in the flat after his jet motion, and you can drop it into him, and he's the check down option for this play. Now with just what you have here for this Ole Miss offense, you are going to be in a great spot, but remember there is part 2 of this O up on Scheme Kings right now, and it is going to make this Ole Miss scheme even more difficult to handle. But then if you want a full breakdown on the idea behind my full Veer and Shoot scheme with a deep dive into personnel we want to use and the principles and idea behind the Veer and Shoot, then you need to check out the intro video for the whole offense right here.